Hello, citizens of the world. Rechief here with another exciting episode of Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth Prosecutor's Path, episodes 1 through 5 beta. Last time we discovered that there were still some doubts left in Bad's investigation. This time, well, Bad's and, Edgeworth's. This time, we're going to find out exactly what he feels those doubts are. Fair warning, I might try out some new voices this episode. That's because in the last episode, I was doing a lot of voices that were kind of tough for me to do without straining my throat. Like, a lot of the time, the higher female voices will do it, or even actually I forget his name. Just Raymond Shields, he kind of goes up here a little bit, and I don't know, that kind of, I'm a baritone, not a tenor. So we're going to see. Oddly enough, Manfred's voice sounds really intense, but that's fine, I think, just because I'm used to doing similar voices. But anyway, basically, I'm going to try some new stuff, possibly. We'll see. I might play around with Bad's voice a little bit. That's another tough one. But I'll just adapt. I'll do that as I go. It's a blind run after all, so it's not like I had time to think about any of this stuff. So anyway, here we go. Let's continue with the investigation. Let's expose some doubts. Detective Bad. What's this? Wow. Blah, blah, blah. This is why you do vocal warm-ups before you do voice acting, usually. I didn't. What's the meaning of this? It's not my nature to leave any doubts behind. There is still one piece of evidence that has yet to be identified. That's right. There are still the traces someone left behind. Bah, talk about your doubts as much as you want later. But this, my dear attorney, is none of your business. Objection. No, I also have some doubts about one piece of evidence. It's likely that I have the same doubts Detective Bad has. What? This is the piece of evidence left in Mr. Masters' room that has yet to be identified. Okay, so it wasn't that. He said, like, oh yeah, the pieces. I guess the fingerprints, maybe? Probably the fingerprints. Somebody left gloved finger marks on one of Mr. Masters' desserts. If these were the killer's finger marks, then it's possible that the killer also didn't leave any fingerprints on the murder weapon. How did you know the state of the crime scene? I gave them permission to investigate. Bad! What possessed you to let a defense attorney into the crime scene? I don't recall you telling me not to let him in. Bah, such impudence! You'd best remember, Bad. Your salary review depends on me. This isn't good for Bad. I'm so glad I have a kind boss like Mr. Edgeworth. Your salary review depends on how you perform here. I'm surprised at what a mere attorney like you managed to uncover in such a short time. However, it's possible those finger marks were Master's own doing, because he always wore gloves while cooking. Do you have evidence that those finger marks were left by Master? And moreover, there are still a few points of suspicion surrounding Delicia. Oh, you still haven't given up on that? Greggy, you still suspect me? I've already apologized for stealing a few bites. I don't want to suspect you. However, I can't easily trust those who tell lies. You must still be hiding something. Greggy is a bully. Don't you know the temperature fresh cream must be kept at? You call yourself a dessert chef, but you lack even the most basic knowledge. I'm sorry for my lack of knowledge. In your case, it's not even about the lack of knowledge. In truth, you don't even know how to make desserts, do you?
Defense attorney, stop trying to force your own reasoning. In a court of law, the evidence tells all. If you say the witness is lying, show it with evidence.
We're not in court yet, but very well. This evidence shows that Delicia can't make desserts. The only things Delicia made were those that broke the rules.
The lamp and cloths that broke the rules were being held in Master's room. There's no way the witness could have returned them to her room.
Objection.
Those were not the only fake desserts she made.
What?
Her desserts may look like something out of a fairy tale at first glance, but in reality, they are nothing but mannequins decorated with cream. Apart from the cream, they're all fake. This is not something one aiming to become the world's greatest pastry chef would do.
Is this true bad? Yes, my shoes can attest to that.
Will that be enough to convince Prosecutor von Karma? Once he sees what Delicia has done, he'll have no choice but to be convinced. Delicia, the fact that your actions could lead to you being a suspect is no laughing matter. I didn't murder. Isn't it time you told us the whole truth? Who are you, and why were you indulging yourself in another contestant's work? Yes, see, I understand. The truth is, I'm not really a dessert chef like I led you to believe. I'm actually a pharmacist. What? A pharmacist? That's a completely different occupation. It's no wonder... What? It's no wonder he couldn't hide his surprise? Oh, okay. He must be referring to Shields. It's no wonder he couldn't hide his surprise. Why is a pharmacist like you participating in this contest? Oh, I just love eating desserts. I joined because I thought I'd be able to eat some of Jeffy's desserts. I never thought I'd end up making it to the finals. Even Prosecutor von Karma is at a loss for words. So that's the real reason why you entered the contest? Yes, see, as expected, Jeffy's desserts were oh so good.
So, the gloved finger marks on the picture frame were your doing?
No way! I never wore gloves. Delicia's fingerprints were found on Mr. Master's chocolates. So it is true that she wasn't wearing gloves. Yes, see, exactly. You do believe me, Greggy?
Is your face stuffed with nothing but desserts?
Sorry, Manny. I think it's her belly that's stuffed. Were Master's desserts all that you ate? Actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also ate Icy's desserts. You mean you entered the victim's room? Yes, see, exactly. The room was empty after all. Perhaps the victim was already dead by then. But my first bite tasted way too salty, and I couldn't eat it. So I ate the delicious star-shaped dessert that was nearby. It's delicious. You really are a glutton. It is rare you see a woman with this kind of appetite. That's all I did. Greggy, Manny, everyone. I'm sorry I caused you trouble. Now that you've told us the truth, everything's fine. There's no need to apologize. Well, I mean, maybe to the contest runner. Well, he's in jail.
This does not mean that your testimony is trustworthy. I'll be investigating the victim's room after this. Only then will I decide if your testimony is true.
Prosecutor von Karma, I'd like to go as well. I also need to ascertain whether my reasoning up until now has been correct.
I let you follow, but I have no intention of letting you investigate.
That's enough for me. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay. I thought we were going to do more, pressing.
This. What is the meaning of this?
Whoa. The desserts adorned in the victim's room had disappeared without a trace. Was this the true killer's? Oh, I guess this is older Ray. The desserts adorned in the victim's room had disappeared without a trace. Was this the true killer's doing? A body that was hidden inside a dessert and a murder weapon that was moved. Further investigation would be required to arrive at a truth of this case. To be continued. Oh, okay, I guess not. To be continued. There we go. Okay. Take a drink. It's ginger ale. It's not anything, you know, untoward. Just lubricating the old talkie hole. Okay, here we go. Oh, hey, guys. Oops, I guess I went on for a little too long there. Something like that happened. I had no idea. None of the case files I read went into such detail. Well, I doubt there would be anything in there that would be inconvenient to the prosecution. Especially with that Von Korma at the head. How did the investigation go from there? The desserts had disappeared from the victim's room, so the investigation hit a rough patch. Thanks to that, it took about a whole year before a verdict was handed down. 1 whole year? This was before the whole 3-day pre-trial system was established. Trials didn't need to finish in the short amount of time that they do now. I see. Did they ever find out why the victim's dessert disappeared? Well, kinda. His dessert was like a candy ice sculpture made from sherbet. Since it was made from ice, the general consensus was that it had melted. However, that might not quite be the case. What do you mean? This museum used to be Mr. Masters' mansion, the stage of the IS-7 incident. And this very place, they're exhibiting the sherbet salon from 18 years ago. Ooh, so if we figure out... Wait a minute. Ah, I can't see Edgeworth's age. Well, how old was he? He was 18 in the case. Oh, okay. So, it's been 18... Okay, right. What math was I even doing there? Whatever. The victim's dessert? Yep. Though it could be just a replica of the original. That's why Uncle Ray had to come today, to check it out. And for your old man, too. Now then, let's get a move on and check out the room. I'm pretty sure it's over in the Winter Palace. Oh, this is cool. I wonder if we're going back and forth or if we're just done doing flashbacks now. The Winter Palace should be... Huh? It's locked up. That's odd. They already opened the museum. Mr. Shields, according to the pamphlet we received at the entrance, the Winter Palace is over here. Really? I could have sworn it was this one. Alright, let's scoot. We gotta confirm the truth of what happened 18 years ago. Well, do I still have... No, I don't have any of the evidence from... Okay. Ah. That's a little different, isn't it? Whoa. That's pretty cool. Hey! It's a Mask to Mask over there. Cool. I wonder if that's... Well, let's talk to him in a sec. Man, it's still as cold as ever. Uncle Ray's gonna freeze solid. It seems the Winter Palace lives up to its name. It's like a freezer in here. With the light dimmed like this, it's almost as if the room itself is made of ice. I think the control panel for the room temperature is on the back wall. Miles, why don't you check what temperature it's set at for me? Uncle Ray's gonna get the curator a piece of his mind later. It's way too cold in here. Very well. But if you want to look around the room a bit, feel free to stay. Or freeze to your heart's content. I'll get the camera ready. I want to take some pictures of this place and show it to your old man. Understood. Sup, Mask to Mask? Well, how about this? I'll yell out, Mask to Mask is here! Yes, it's me! I am Mask to Mask! Good, good. Wait, Ronnie, if you say that, you'll get arrested. Come on, if we don't plan properly, we won't be able to sell it. What are these two talking about? Aw, I liked those guys. And who's this? There's a boy with a school bag. Did he come to the art gallery by himself? Oh yeah, he's from a previous case too, actually. She even quit her job in order to run this museum. I don't really get it. Perhaps he's the son of an acquaintance of the curator's. Oh, that's cool. There are two sculptures displayed here. These sculptures are replicas of the desserts that vanished 18 years ago. Impressive, huh? These sculptures made of ice. Yes. My father never got to see these ice sculptures. And now, 18 years later, I'm standing before them. Miles, sorry to bother you while you're deep in thought. Could you turn this way a little? Like this? Yes, yes, like that. You look so sad. That's great. I love this game's selfies. Why are there multiples of them? Anyway. Mr. Shields, you're not. Say cheese! Mr. Shields, please don't take pictures of me. Sorry, my bad. I just wanted to make sure the camera works okay. That camera looks quite old. Yeah, well, that's because it's an old-fashioned camera. An instant what the fuck did I do? Oh, that was weird. An instant camera. It automatically develops the photos after shooting. Pretty cool, huh? What the fuck just happened? Okay, that was weird. Let's keep playing. Yes, I know, though I've never used one. You're quite the know-it-all. You really are the old man's son. Could you move a bit? I want to take some more photos of the room. His face has taken on an unusually serious expression. He's probably thinking about the IS-7 incident. Man, I snapped a bunch, and they're already developed, see? One day I'll push the right buttons during this case. He shoved them in my face before I could reply. Well, I have one more question for you, Mr. Know-It-All. Do you know what these two sculptures represent? Well, it's gotta be constellations, yeah. They're sculptures of Taurus and Gemini from the winter constellations. Ooh, bingo! Not bad, Miles. Oops, there we go. That's probably why they call this room the Winter Palace. Uncle Ray is feeling generous today, so I'll give you a copy of this photo too. Thanks. Winter Palace photo data jotted down in my organizer, I guess. Are these replicas of the constellation desserts that were made 18 years ago? First, let's look at them in a file. Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks like these two sculptures are also made out of sherbet. Uncle Ray's only seen real sculptures in photos. But these sculptures look like the real deal. This is what you wanted to show me? Yeah. I think your old man would have wanted you to see it as well. I'm sorry. Uncle Ray didn't have the courage to come here alone. Don't apologize. This was a good opportunity to learn about my father's case. That means a lot to me. So, you want me to take another commemorative photo? No thanks. That was a lot of information from one... Hey! It's her fucking lamp back there. This rock salt lamp is lighting up the constellation chart. I see. Gemini and Taurus are constellations that can be seen in the winter. Since this is the Winter Palace, perhaps that explains the winter constellations made of sherbet. According to the pamphlet, the other palaces are made of crystal. But for the Summer Palace, I think it'd be more fitting if it were made out of shaved ice. Well, no, that would make it exactly the same as this room. I wonder if that's the rock salt lamp from 18 years ago. If so, this case is cool. Mr. Shields, I can't find the temperature control panel. Ah, right. They keep it where it's hard to find. Just one moment. Huh? It's locked. Makes sense. They wouldn't want the guests changing the temperature themselves. According to the pamphlet, the Winter Palace has a temperature of 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that is cold, actually. That's pretty cold. Now that is cold. Uncle Ray's gonna freeze to death. Guess I'll need to find someone to share body heat with. Preferably a beautiful lady. Oh, are you trying to freeze me to death as well with those cold eyes? Of course not. A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. No, the inside must be hollow. On the surface, there is an image of the stars and a written description. The Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters, a star cluster that comprises a part of Taurus. But for all these stars to be grouped together as a cluster, the ways of the ancient people must have been very imprecise. Alrighty, now that I got some pictures of the room, let's check out the other palaces. Might as well see them all, since we're already here. I suppose you're right. Whoa. That yell just now. It came from the fountain patio. Let's go, Miles. Whoa. There's someone passed out on the floor, and that man there is... Yes, I knew it. It's Larry Butts. Larry? What are you doing here? No, I'm getting ahead of myself. What exactly happened here? Edgy! I saw something that no one should ever have to see again! Larry, calm down. Why is there someone passed out here? I didn't do anything. He just fell down all of a sudden. This man, he can't be. Oh, hey, it's those guys. I want to make sure, though, before I do that. Okay. This scent is... Seems like he's still breathing, but this is a bad situation. Miles, it's not safe here. Get everyone out of here. Everyone get away from that room right now. There's poison gas coming out from it. This case is neat. I'm loving the time skip thing. Mr. Shields, how is the victim? It looks like he breathed in a little too much of that poison gas. He's still unconscious. According to the doctor in the ambulance, there are no external injuries or any other wounds. Thanks to our fortunate timing, we were able to save him before he was too far gone. But he's not out of the woods yet. He's currently being treated by a specialist in the infirmary. I see. Mr. Shields, is he an acquaintance of yours? Yeah, you could say that. He's Dane Gustavia. He was involved in the IS-7 incident. The pastry chef? So he's involved in the case 18 years ago. At least the other guy is doing alright. Is he a friend of yours, Miles? Yes, you could say that. It is fortunate you were not hurt, Larry. What's you could say that's supposed to mean, Edgy? How could you treat a childhood friend like that? That's just cruel. And also, when I'm dressed like this, I'm called Laurice Donim, you know. So don't call me Larry, it's Laurice. This man is Larry Batts. He's nothing but trouble, but he's been one of my friends since grade school. Some time ago, he awakened to the calling of art and assumed the alias Laurice Donim. But a Batts by any other name would smell just as much. Really? You two are childhood friends? I better report that to the old man too. I'm sure it'll bring him joy. He was always worried about you not being able to make friends. Good for you, Edgy. Aren't you glad to have a bosom buddy like me? My father was worried about something like that. But anyway, what are you doing in a place like this, Larry? How many times do I have to tell you, Edgy? I'm Laurice. What are you doing in a place like this? Yikes! Don't glare at me when you talk! So are you going to tell me? Isn't it obvious? I've come here to study art. I'm going to take Mandy on a date here, so I was just doing some scouting beforehand. Aren't you just using art as an excuse to go on a date? Not bad, Laurice. Maybe you could introduce some pretty girls to me next time. Oh, now you're talking my language, dude! I think I'm getting a headache. By the way, Laurice, did you notice anything strange when you found the victim? Nah, not really. Nothing that would make you say, I saw something that no one should ever have to see? Oh yeah, that. I was just surprised when I saw that old dude fall down out of nowhere like that. I didn't do anything this time for once. Is that anything to brag about? Visitors, we wish to deeply apologize for this disturbance. I am the curator of this museum. My name is Catherine Hall. She's also one of the people involved in the IS-7 incident. Hello there, Miss Kate. Monsieur Shields, thank you for your continued assistance. She was the woman we saw at the reception. So, she's the curator here. Okay, so if that took place 18 years ago and she was 16 then, she's 26. She's in her 30s now. We apologize for the inconvenience, especially since it's the opening day. No, you don't have to apologize for a thing, Miss Kate. I almost forgot. Let me introduce you to someone. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's Gregory Edgeworth's son. Oh, Monsieur Edgeworth. Oh, how wonderful! I meet the sun after 18 years. It is an honor to meet you, defense attorney Miles Edgeworth. Wow, that was amazing! You've still got that golden voice, Miss Kate. Actually, I'm a prosecutor. Oh, so you are a prosecutor? My most sincere apologies, Monsieur Edgeworth. This woman is very polite, but slightly odd. Katie, could I get your autograph right here, pretty please? Yes, if you so desire. Why do you want her autograph? Hey, don't tell me you don't know who she is! My, You really don't keep up with entertainment news, do you, Miles? What? What is this unbearable atmosphere? She's a superstar actress who's been in tons of musicals and movies. She's a great singer, too. Currently, I am the curator of this museum. I have already retired from the stage. I finished filming my role for my last movie a few days ago. My co-stars also said that they would come here once I open the doors. And here you are, Monsieur Artiste. I return this to you.
Thanks a bunch, Katie. I'll treasure it for the rest of my life.
Well, well, looks like me and Maurice share the same interests. So I gathered. Larry, you said you're here to study art. Why don't you practice drawing as well? Since you're here at Miss Hall's Art Museum. Oh, it would be an honor to have Monsieur Artiste sketch our exhibits.
Oh, I guess even you have some good ideas every now and again, Edgy. I'll do a bit of sketching for Katie here.
What an amusing person. Forgive the disturbance. Incidentally, who was the woman that was with you earlier? That was Madame Delicia Scones. She is currently assisting in the treatment of Monsieur Gustavia in the infirmary. Oh yeah, she's a pharmacist. Let's see. 34. Okay, right. Oh yeah. Dang, he's a badass old dude. Laurie Stoneham. Alright. Even though I say the infirmary, since this is an art museum now, it is only provisional. As I am the only staff member working here, I cannot take a leave of my duties for too long. Delicious scones. I believe we've heard that name before, Mr. Shields. Yep. Looks like the whole gang from the IS-7 incident is here. Well, I doubt that's a coincidence. Monsieur Shields, Monsieur Edgeworth, would you care for some hot tea? Oh, Miss Kate's tea. That takes me back. Yes, if you please. Now I must take my leave. I must explain the situation to the other visitors. Alright, thanks for everything. This smells like Ceylon tea. I should drink it before it cools. And while Edgeworth drinks that tea, we're going to give him a day-long break, because I'm going to stop here. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Next time, we're going to find out what's going on with this bitchin' case. Adios, amigos. Woohoo!